It began on a calm morning when the world woke to the sound of the sky itself rumbling. People stepped out of their homes and looked up. Above the cities, above the mountains and oceans, hundreds of giant silver ships floated in the air. They were not human-made. They had no engines, no wings, no sound of rockets. They just hung there, shining under the sunlight like cold mirrors. News spread within minutes. Every country saw them. Every government tried to talk to them. No answer came. Satellites captured images, and scientists worked day and night to understand who or what had arrived. Then 3 hours later, the ships opened. Thousands of alien soldiers descended to the ground through beams of blue light. They were tall, wearing black armor that reflected no light. Their helmets had glowing red lines, and strange symbols moved across their armor like living circuits. The world held its breath. Soldiers were ready everywhere, in America, China, Russia, and Europe. Tanks rolled, aircraft circled, and missiles waited for orders. But the first shot never came. Because something strange happened the moment the aliens touched Earth's soil. The first alien soldier fell. Then the second. Then 100. Within a few minutes, every alien on the ground collapsed. Their bodies hit the earth with a heavy metallic sound. Some tried to move but failed. Others shook violently and stopped. No human had fired a bullet. No bomb had been dropped. Yet the great alien invasion ended in silence. Cameras captured everything. The whole world watched on live television as the most powerful army from the stars was defeated without a fight. At first, humans thought it was a trick. Maybe the aliens were pretending. Maybe it was part of their plan. But when the hours passed and none of them moved, scientists were sent to investigate. Dr. Mira Solon was one of them. She was a biologist from the United Nations Science Division, known for her calm nature and sharp thinking. When she reached one of the landing zones outside London, she saw hundreds of alien soldiers lying in the grass. They were breathing, very slowly, but they could not move. The air around them shimmered, like heat waves over sand. Mira felt cold standing near them, even though the sun was bright. She wore a protective suit and moved closer. The alien armor looked advanced, but small cracks showed the glowing blue liquid inside. It looked like energy leaking out. She took samples carefully and said to her team, "Do not touch their armor directly. Something here is reacting." As the scientists studied, soldiers guarded the area. They were ready but confused. One soldier whispered to another, "They came to invade us, but it looks like the Earth invaded them." All around the world, the same thing was happening. In New York, in Tokyo, in deserts and jungles, the aliens collapsed the moment they landed. No one understood why. In the following hours, researchers discovered something more. The alien ships in the sky had stopped moving. They stayed still, hovering silently above the cities, glowing faintly. It was as if they were waiting for something, or listening. Mira reported her findings to the command center. "The aliens are alive," she said, "but their systems are shutting down. It's like they can't breathe properly here." A general asked, "You mean our air is killing them?" Mira frowned. "Not exactly. Oxygen might be part of it, but I think it's more than that. Their bodies are reacting to something deeper in our environment." That night, the world was quiet. For the first time in history, humans looked at the sky and saw an enemy that didn't fight back. People were scared but also curious. Children pointed at the ships and asked if aliens were real. Old men said the Earth was defending itself. In labs across the planet, scientists worked non-stop. They tried to study the alien biology, but every time they brought samples inside, machines failed. Electronics stopped working near the alien armor. It was as if the aliens carried an invisible energy that rejected Earth's technology. Mira stayed awake all night, studying the faint readings from her sensors. She noticed something strange. The closer she got to the fallen aliens, the weaker her heartbeat felt. But the moment she stepped back, she felt normal again. She wrote in her notebook, "Their presence drains life, but Earth resists them." The next morning, new problems began. Animals near the landing zone started acting strangely. Birds refused to fly close. Dogs howled endlessly. In one forest, trees around the fallen soldiers began to lose color, their leaves turning gray. Yet in other places, nature fought back. Grass grew faster around the aliens, wrapping around their bodies like vines. Some soldiers were half covered in green by the second day. The planet was reacting in ways no one could explain. Meanwhile, Governments debated what to do. Some wanted to destroy the alien ships before they could attack again. Others said to wait and learn. The United Nations called it the silent invasion. Inside the main research base, Mira looked again at one of the fallen soldiers. She placed her hand gently on the ground beside it and whispered, "Why did you come here?" Of course, there was no answer. But that night, something happened. As the moon rose, the alien ships began to glow brighter. The fallen soldiers' suits flickered and a deep hum filled the air. Computers in the research base turned on by themselves. Screens displayed strange alien symbols that no one could read. "Is this communication?" one scientist asked. Mira stared at the symbols and said softly, "No, this is a warning." At that moment, one of the alien soldiers moved. Slowly, weakly, it lifted its hand and pointed toward Mira before collapsing again. Her heart raced. For the first time, the humans realized something important. The aliens were not completely defeated. They were adapting, and the real invasion might just be beginning. Mira stepped outside, looking up at the glowing ships in the sky. The world below was silent, but she could feel a pulse in the air, a rhythm that didn't belong to humans or machines. The earth itself seemed alive. "Watching," she whispered, "whatever you are. This planet is not yours." The sky answered only with silence, but deep within that silence, the war between worlds had already started, not with weapons, but with survival. The next morning began with fear and confusion. Around the world, scientists, soldiers, and leaders gathered in underground command centers. The alien ship still floated silently in the sky, and the collapsed soldiers still covered the ground. Dr. Mira Solon sat in the main lab at the London base. Her eyes were tired from working all night, but her mind was sharp. On the screen before her were hundreds of readings, strange energy levels, chemical reactions, and unknown symbols taken from the alien's armor. Something connected all of it, and she was close to finding it. General Harris, the military commander in charge, entered the lab. His face was tense. "Doctor," he said, "we need answers." "Are they dead or just sleeping?" Mira turned the screen toward him. "They're alive. But Earth is poisoning them in ways they can't handle. Their systems are trying to adapt, but it's failing." "Poisoning?" the general asked. "You mean our air?" "Not just the air," she said. "It's everything, the light, the water, even the ground. Earth is full of what I call life energy. Every living cell gives out a tiny signal, a rhythm. Humans, animals, plants, everything on this planet is connected through it. The aliens' bodies aren't used to it." The general frowned. "So you're saying the planet itself is fighting them?" Mira nodded slowly. "Yes, to them, Earth's life energy is too strong. Their biology can't take it." The general said nothing for a while. He looked through the glass wall at the motionless alien soldier lying on the table. "Then why are the ships still up there?" "That's what worries me," Mira replied. "They might be trying to adapt. If they succeed, they'll be immune to Earth's defenses. And then—" She didn't finish the sentence. She didn't need to. The general understood. Across the world, strange changes were happening. The alien ships began sending out faint green light waves that covered whole cities. People reported that the air felt heavier. Radios and satellites started losing signals. In the forests, some of the collapsed soldiers twitched again. A few even moved their fingers. At the same time, the plants around them began to wither. The grass that had grown over their bodies turned gray and dry. It was as if the aliens were slowly pulling the life out of everything around them to stay alive. Mira watched one of the soldiers closely through the glass. The blue glow inside its armor was fading, replaced by a pulsing green color. The heartbeat sensor on the monitor showed signs of improvement. "They're healing," she whispered. Her assistant, a young scientist named Leo, turned pale. "If they wake up, they will," she interrupted. "But we need to understand them before that happens." She leaned closer to the alien helmet, where a small crack revealed a strange, pale face beneath the glass. It was humanoid. 2 eyes, a nose, a mouth, but its skin was white like stone and covered in small silver veins. It looked fragile, almost peaceful. She felt a sudden pity. "Maybe they didn't come here to destroy," she said softly. "Maybe they just wanted what we have." Leo shook his head. "Their ships have weapons the size of mountains. You don't come in peace with that kind of power." Mira didn't argue. She knew he was right. Later that day, the world's top scientists gathered through video call. They shared all their data, From America to India, everyone found the same result. The aliens' cells were dying because of Earth's magnetic field and the life pulse inside living things. One scientist called it bioelectrical rejection, another called it planetary defense. Mira called it Earth's immune system, she explained. When something foreign enters the human body, the immune system fights it. Earth is doing the same. The aliens are like a virus and the planet is rejecting them. The world leaders agreed to hold off any attacks for now. They would observe and study. But time was running out. By the 5th day, the alien ships began to move again. Their green light grew brighter. Energy readings spiked everywhere. Satellite images showed the ships were forming a new pattern, a circle above the Atlantic Ocean. Mira studied the data and gasped. They're connecting to something under the ocean floor. What do you mean? The general asked. They're trying to draw power from Earth's magnetic core, she said. They want to change the planet's energy field, make it safe for them. If they succeeded, Earth would become lifeless like their home world. The general clenched his fists. Then we can't wait anymore. Mira and her team worked quickly. Using the alien armor samples, they built a scanner that could track the energy signals between the ships. What they found was shocking. The aliens were using a form of quantum sound waves that affected every atom on the planet. But there was a weakness. The signal was strongest near living things. The aliens' technology couldn't fully control areas with high biological activity, forests, oceans, and even cities full of humans. Life is still fighting them, Mira said. The more living energy we create, the harder it is for them to adapt. Leo looked confused. How can we create more life energy? She smiled faintly. By being alive, by uniting, by feeling hope, by keeping nature alive. The planet responds to us. That night, Mira went outside. The sky glowed green from the alien ships. The air buzzed with energy. She could feel the vibration in her bones. In the distance, she saw lightning flash across the horizon, striking one of the smaller alien crafts. It fell into the sea, burning brightly before disappearing under the waves. Nature was striking back. By morning, the alien soldier in the lab woke. The sensors beeped rapidly. Its fingers twitched, then its eyes opened, glowing faintly through the cracked helmet. Mira and her team froze. Soldiers aimed their weapons, ready to fire. But the alien didn't attack. It simply turned its head toward Mira. Through the translator device, a weak voice spoke, broken but clear. The world rejects us. Mira stepped forward carefully. Who are you? Why did you come? The alien's voice trembled. We seek power. Our world is dead. Your planet, too loud, too alive. It burns us. Mira felt sadness and fear at the same time. Then leave before it kills you. The alien shook its head slowly. Cannot command? We'll adapt. Change all. Before she could ask more, the alien's armor glowed brightly. The sensors exploded with energy readings. The creature screamed in pain, not anger but agony, and then fell still again. The green light faded. Leo whispered, They're not just invaders. They're survivors. Mira looked at the lifeless body and said, Maybe, but if they change Earth to survive, then humanity dies. Outside, the alien ships hummed louder, and a new beam of green energy reached deep into the planet's core. The real war was no longer about weapons. It was about the planet's life itself. Mira turned to the general and said, We need to stop them before Earth stops breathing. Across the planet, alien ships glowed with a deep green light. The fallen soldiers that had collapsed on Earth began to twitch, lift their heads and stand. Their armor pulsed with energy, brighter than ever. Humanity watched from bunkers, rooftops, and the safety of forests. Fear filled hearts everywhere. Dr. Mira Solon stood in the London research base, staring at the global energy readings. Her fingers hovered over the keyboard as she whispered, They've adapted. They're waking up. General Harris stepped beside her. His face was grim. If they fully adapt, Earth's life energy will not be enough to stop them. They'll take control of the planet and humanity. We'll be powerless, Mira nodded. Then we have one chance. We must use Earth itself, every living thing, to defend itself. Across the world, humans and nature began to respond. Soldiers in the Amazon reported trees swaying as if alive, their roots twisting upward to block paths. Birds formed massive patterns in the sky. their wings creating currents that disturbed the alien energy fields. Even the oceans churned with sudden violent waves near the alien ships. In the labs, Mira and her team had built a device they called the Life Pulse Amplifier. It was designed to broadcast the planet's natural energy, the pulse of all life, at a frequency strong enough to reach the alien soldiers and disrupt their adaptation. "Will it work?" Leo asked nervously. Mira looked out at the glowing ships in the sky. "It has to. If it doesn't, humanity will face a war we cannot win." The first wave of the life pulse spread through the forests, rivers, and cities. Lights flickered in houses as the energy passed through electrical grids. Plants grew rapidly, reaching into streets and buildings. Humans felt their hearts beat stronger, their minds sharper. The alien soldiers began to stumble. Their armor flickered between green and blue, then back to green. Their attempts to adapt were failing. On the ground, one soldier raised its weapon aimed at a city block, then its arm froze mid-air. Its head turned toward the sky, glowing with confusion. Mira watched the monitors in awe. "It's the Earth itself," she said. "The planet is fighting back through us." Then, from the sky, a beam of light shot from the largest alien ship toward the Earth's core. The ground shook. Cities trembled. Volcanoes rumbled. The aliens were trying to change the planet's energy from deep within. "This is it," General Harris said. "If that beam reaches the core, we lose everything." Mira's hand hovered over the life pulse amplifier. She pressed the activation button. A golden wave spread across the planet, stronger than anything humanity had ever felt. Forests, rivers, oceans, and even mountains seemed to glow. The pulse reached every human, animal, and plant. Hearts beat together, lungs drew in the same rhythm, and minds connected with the life energy of Earth itself. The aliens screamed. Their armor cracked, their weapons failed, and their ships shuddered. The pulse disrupted their adaptation completely. One by one, the alien soldiers fell to the ground again, this time not from weakness, but from overwhelming life energy. Their glowing green suits dimmed and shattered, scattering sparks like stars across the sky. On the largest alien ship, the commanders tried to send a signal. Their translator projected a single phrase over Earth: "Impossible." "The planet is alive," Mira smiled. "Yes," she whispered. "And she protects her own." The alien mothership began to fall, losing power. Smaller ships crashed into the oceans and deserts. Waves rose to meet them. Forests swallowed others. And human forces observed silently, knowing that nature had done what no weapon could. The collapsed soldiers lay motionless, their bodies dissolving into a fine light that scattered across the land. It was as if the planet absorbed them, turning their energy harmlessly into life itself. For the first time in history, humans stepped outside without fear. Children ran through the streets, animals returned to their habitats, and plants grew taller, greener, stronger. The Earth had fought for its life, and humanity had survived not by violence but by living in harmony with it. Dr. Mira Solon walked among the ruins of one fallen alien ship. She touched the twisted metal. It felt warm, not from fire, but from the energy that the planet had reclaimed. General Harris joined her. "We've won," he said quietly. Mira looked up at the sky. The sun rose over a planet that had survived against impossible odds. "Yes," she said, "but we've learned something. Humanity isn't just strong because of weapons or machines. We're strong because we are part of life itself. The planet and we are one." In the days that followed, humans rebuilt. Cities repaired themselves. Farms flourished. Forests expanded, and the scientists studied the alien technology, learning how to use it not for war but for understanding. The world had changed. People no longer feared what lay beyond the stars. They respected it. And they understood that the greatest power in the universe wasn't in alien ships or advanced weapons. It was in life itself. Dr. Mira Solon often walked outside at sunset, watching the skies. Occasionally, she could see a faint glimmer where the alien ships had fallen, but it wasn't dangerous. It was a reminder, a sign of survival, of Earth's strength and of humanity's courage. She smiled softly. "Earth protects her own," she whispered again. And this time, it was not just a warning to invaders. It was a promise to the future.